Because as Chairman has said, if you have seen those drugs there, you have walked to the medical government health centers, and you find no medicines, but you're finding these medicines in the clinics of the people who are working in the hospitals or in the health centers. What have you done about it? So the question of responsibility starts with you, the citizen, and then comes to us, because we are the face that you are too. The piles of drugs expiring, true. There has always been a question of whether the requisitions are equivalent to the requirements that the people really ask for, and what kind of medicines are you asking, and what drugs are expiring. In Moyo Hospital, quite a number of drugs were lost to just useless expiry. Why? They were HIV/AIDS drugs. The requisition exceeded the demand, and so the doctors didn't know what to do with the excess. They could neither take it back to the national medical stores or give it out. And yet, there's also a problem, the distribution channels.
Let's hear from the Democratic Party, Mr. Lameriga. You've had the chairman and Honorable Bia saying also the people have a responsibility. How would you equip the people to be so ethical and, I mean, to demand accountability, but also not being corrupt themselves? What would be your position from Democratic Party?
You see, the reason why people don't react when such things happen is because bigger theft happens at a higher level. Nothing is done about it. Now, you now lower yourself to begin reporting issues of drugs in a certain clinic of somebody whom you have known in Arua. So the person sees it of no use because billions of money is lost in government ministries. The Chogam report is slashed, and the thief is left free, is promoted instead. That is the reason why they're doing these things. It's not just the use of drugs.
So what would be the campaign promise of people from the Democratic Party? How this can be solved?
To us, the fish begins rotting from the head. And that is why we're in this race. We believe there has got to be a change in leadership, right from the top. It is because President Museveni does not care about corruption that corruption has been institutionalized in Uganda. So that is why we're thinking that there must be change in leadership next year. We don't want to say that we are postponing this problem to 2016. That is our position.
Anguyo Eric, you've had the people, you've had your fellow panelists. What would you say?
Thanks very much, Mr. Patrick Kamara. I think the issue of theft of drugs in the government hospitals or government health centers is that at times I don't even blame these medical personnel because, one, they are real underpaid, so they tend to look for a safe haven whereby they can employ or pay their relatives or their children to school. And secondly, also to survive, to stay in a comfortable manner or comfortable way. And the other side around also is that, you know, we also have to be vigilant to these medical personnel or government drugs. At times, I also asked myself, I used to ask myself, or up to now even I'm asking myself, where is this theft of government drugs normally comes from? Is it from the district or from the hospital administration? Because normally when the drugs are brought like this, they first have to take them to district to be inspected or what. That's something which I have little knowledge about it. So I need to be corrected there.
Let us hear from Rosemary, because you have raised the point that maybe people are poorly remunerated, they have poor salaries, bigger salaries, that's why they are corrupt. But we also know that the rich are very corrupt also.
They are most corrupt.
Rosemary, what would you say?
Thank you, sir. I too concur with him. For example, let's look at people who work in bank. They are better paid and motivated. They can't steal those money. I believe we should find why these people pick this drug and put in their drug shops. I believe what they are getting, the payment is not sufficient enough for them. That's why they go sideways to pick these drugs and put in their drug shop. If the government has a better payment, for sure, you can't take a drug of 5,000 or 10,000 to risk your job.
But Baleku Nelson, in the audience, you have a